If you're thinking about buying an oceanfront condo in Brevard County right now, in Cocoa Beach, Satellite Beach, Indialantic, anywhere on the coast, there's a conversation we need to have before you go under contract. The condo landscape in Florida has changed significantly in the last few years. There are laws in place right now that didn't exist before 2022. They affect what you'll pay to live there, how much reserves the building is required to hold, and whether certain buildings are even insurable the way they used to be. Today, I'm giving you my honest opinion in a story that illustrates why this matters, and 3 things every condo buyer needs to know right now. I'm Carrie Leota, a realtor and waterfront specialist on Florida's Space Coast, and I'm in Brevard County every day working with buyers who are serious about this coast. If you're one of them, I'm inviting you to my Facebook group called Moving to Brevard County, Florida. Just scan the QR code on the screen, join the conversation. Locals and people making the move are in there talking about exactly this stuff. Before we go any further, if you're seriously thinking about moving to Brevard County, you need to be in my Facebook group. It's called Moving to Brevard County, Florida. Just scan the QR code on the screen right now. We've got locals, people who just made the move, aerospace folks, military families, all in one place asking real questions and getting real answers. Okay, let's get into it. Here's my honest opinion on oceanfront condos in Brevard County right now. They're not off the table, but they require more due diligence than they did 5 years ago, and most buyers aren't doing enough of it. After the Surfside collapse in 2021, Florida passed some of the most significant condo safety legislation in the country. Senate Bill 4D kicked it off. Then 154 refined it. Then 1021 added governance oversight. The most recent update is 913 went into effect July 2025. What all this means for you as a buyer, the buildings that were quietly deferring maintenance for decades have been forced to come clean. Some of that is showing up as special assessments. Some of it is showing up as dramatically higher HOA fees. I'm not telling you to avoid condos. I'm telling you to go in there with your eyes open because the information is now available if you know how to ask for it. I had a buyer looking in an oceanfront condo in Cocoa Beach. Beautiful building, incredible views, price seemed like real value. We pulled the financials, and just so you know, under the new Florida condo laws, you're entitled to review the Structural Integrity Reserve Study, also called the Milestone Inspection Report if one has been completed, and the current reserve fund status. What we found in that building was a reserve fund that was well below what the new mandatory funding requirements were going to require. The building had also deferred major work on the seawall. The HOA fees were about to move significantly. So we walked. The buyer found a building 2 streets over that had gotten ahead of the new requirements, had completed their milestone inspection, and had a fully funded reserve, paid a bit more per unit, has not had a surprise assessment. And that's the difference between doing the homework and not doing it. My advice, ask for the Sears and Milestone inspection report before you fall in love. Before you tour, before you make an offer, ask for the Structural Integrity Reserve Study and the Milestone Inspection Report. Florida law now requires buildings that are 3 stories or higher and 30 years or older to have these completed. For the buildings near the coast, the trigger age can be 25 years. If a building that should have had these documents doesn't have them yet, that is a red flag. The Sears tells you what structural components need funding and how much. The milestone inspection tells you the physical condition of the building. If a phase 2 inspection was triggered, meaning there's actual structural deterioration that required deeper investigation, you want to know what was found and what's been done about it. These documents are available to prospective buyers. If a seller or HOA won't produce them, just walk. Second, and this one catches buyers off guard, since January 2025, Florida condo associations cannot vote to waive or reduce their structural reserves. Before Surfside, owners could vote to skip reserve contributions to keep fees low. That's over for structural components. What this means for you as a buyer is that buildings with aging infrastructure and low reserves are going to be funded up, which means HOA fees are going up. If you're looking at a building that was built in the late 1980s or early 1990s and still has very low monthly HOA, I want you to ask a very direct question. Has this building completed its SEERs? And is it currently funding reserves at that required level? The answer to that question will tell you whether the monthly number you're looking at today is the monthly number you'll have a year from now. Third, special assessments are real and can be significant. We've seen buildings in South Florida issue special assessments in the six figures per unit after Milestone inspections revealed years of deferred maintenance. I'm not saying that's the norm on the Space Coast, but I am saying that the Surfside legislation has forced buildings to confront deferred maintenance they'd been ignoring. The cost of the work doesn't disappear, it gets passed to owners. When you're doing your condo due diligence, you want to see the minutes from the last 12 months of the HOA board meetings. Special assessments get discussed before they get issued. If there are discussions about upcoming major expenditures, roof replacement, seawall work, elevator systems, those conversations will be in the minutes. So read them. Oceanfront condos on the Space Coast can be a great purchase. The views are real, the lifestyle is real, and there are buildings out there that have done the work and are in excellent shape, but the market has bifurcated. There are buildings that got ahead of the new laws, and there are buildings that are still catching up. The price tag alone will not tell you which category you're looking at. The SEERs, the milestone inspection, the reserve funding, the board meeting minutes, that's where the truth is. Know how to look for it or work with someone who does. That's everything I've got for you today. If this was helpful, drop a comment, share it with someone who's thinking about moving to the coast. And if you haven't joined my Facebook group yet, called Moving to Brevard County, Florida, just scan the QR code on the screen. Locals, newcomers, real conversations. I'll see you in the next video.